ילידות משכנותיך יהוה צבאות נכספה וגם קלטה נפשי לחצרות יהוה
Shalom and welcome to Shalom Pod here with Mama Bell of Healing Throughout. And today I am in studio with Ali Snowdale of Snowdale Acres, a very dear friend of mine. And we're going to be discussing a little bit about goats, livestock, dogs, canning, homesteading, and such. Before I introduce her, I want to give her a little bit of description about who she is. Ali Snowdale is been married for 17 years to her husband Todd. They have one son, Daniel. They have been working with goats for about 10 years up here in the Phelan area. She's a homesteader by trade. She's got an incredible amount of knowledge and wisdom from the father regarding how to take care of goats, everything from kidding to helping with trimming of the hooves and so on and so forth. They have a vibrant garden coming up spring. They just have a host of things they're doing over there in Phelan. And so I want to introduce you to Ali Snowdale. Welcome, Ali.
Hello, everybody.
Excellent. So, Ali, let's get started here. Let's talk a little bit about goats. Tell us a little bit about what you have over there on your homestead here at Snowdale Acres.
Right. When my son was 5 years old, we went and visited the Oak Glen apple orchards. And at their petting zoo, they had these little, tiny, adorable, colorful goats. And I thought, oh, look at that baby goat. And then here comes an even smaller version of that goat to get milk. And I thought, oh, that's a mama goat? It's so tiny. And I decided, I want one of those. Being the valley girl that I am, I want one of those. It's like a pocket goat, right? And I started doing some research, and I found out that the Nigerian dwarf goat actually has the highest percentage of butterfat for the amount of milk that they make. And I thought, perfect. I can just get a quart of milk a day. It'll be super rich. And we went on the search to find some. I found some at Joyful Heart Farms in Temecula. Mm-hmm. And that was where I got my very first goats from. And goats multiply like rabbits. So soon I had many, many goats, all different breeds. Right now we have about 40 of them. Mm. Last summer I milked 10 goats morning and night. For 8 months. So it's a lot of work, but then you get a lot of reward from them also. So that's how I started with the goats.
Excellent. Now, you said about milking. So are you the old-fashioned hand milker, or do you have an actual machine that you hook up the goats to and get milk that way?
If I'm milking less than 3 goats or less, I milk by hand. If I start getting a lot of goats that are in milk, I do have a milking machine. But then you got to clean it. You got to sanitize it. It's a lot of work to upkeep it. And milking by hand is actually just as fast. But it works your joints. So it depends. But normally, I milk by hand. I teach other people when they come by. Everybody that comes to the farm when the goats are in milk, everybody gets to try a free sample of milk and feed the babies. And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we were there with my daughter and my youngest and my 2 boys, and Ali showed my eldest and myself how to milk by hand. My daughter actually does very well. I still get that crimp on my one finger to try to maneuver the teats very well to milk, but I'm getting there. And her milk is out of this world, I have to say. We have a couple of her Nubians here on board, actually her mini Nubians on board. One is right now Matsia over at her little homestead waiting to meet with her romantic buck. Hopefully having a date here soon so that we can get her back on our property so that we can have a kid hopefully come spring or early summer and start producing, actually she'll start producing milk and we'll start enjoying the milk for our family. But the milk is phenomenal. Mini Nubians produce not a lot of milk, but their milk is very rich. Is that correct?
That's correct. The mini Nubian is my favorite breed, even though we cross a Nigerian dwarf with a regular Nubian. Nubians with the long ears, so this is the kind of, when everybody pictures this dairy goat, they think of this goat with these long drooping ears and this big Roman nose. And Nubians are great producers. They'll make a gallon of milk a day. But then tomorrow they make another gallon, and the next day they make another gallon, and pretty soon you have 10 gallons of milk in your fridge, and you don't know what to do with it. And they eat a lot, and they're noisy. The longer the ears, the lower the IQ. And the louder the goat. That's a true story right there. La Manchas don't have ears at all. They have little tiny gopher ears, like little tiny mouse ears. But they're smart.
Interesting.
And they're quiet.
Okay.
And they try to bite. When they want to eat, they bite the other goat's ears because they're so accessible, and then they get to eat. So they're very clever. If you're not smart, do not get a La Mancha. They will beat you in Scrabble.
Interesting. Yeah, our goats that she has, that we have also, the mini Nubians, have what we call airplane ears.
Yeah, they stick straight
They
out.
kind of stick straight out. They're long, but they're not floppy down, and they're not perked up, and they're not there. They're just kind of like airplanes. So when they run, their little ears flap like little wings on an airplane. So it's really quite cute. So you got a wide variety of breeds on your property. We talked a little bit about goat milk. Give me some other ideas and tell our community here online what else goat milk could be used for.
Right. We have a problem in California with the dairy industry because goat milk is potentially pathogenic, means that, they thought many years ago that you could spread disease with milk. And actually we find that that's not true. We have milk that has been in the fridge for over a month. I just forgot about it in a jar and not realized it was there. And it still smells so sweet and creamy because the good bacteria is keeping up the neighborhood, we like to say. But selling it to your neighbors is still illegal. You don't want to get caught selling raw milk. The dairy industry in California really frowns on that. But you can make cheese. You can feed it to your family. You can make goat milk soap. You can, not just that, but I have people come over and they'll have a mama dog that died or can't support her babies, and they'll buy it for their animals to supplement. We have a lot of people that come by with baby animals that are orphans that need help. And then we don't pasteurize our milk. We just filter it because it does not matter how clean your barn is, how perfect your setup is. You're going to get one stupid goat hair in your milk. I guarantee it. So we just strain that out. The rest of the milk is good. It tastes delicious. Even my husband, who hates healthy food, honestly, he hates it. And even he'll drink the goat milk. So that's quite an endorsement there.
Yes, yes. And also, too, I was told that from research, being a mother of 5 children, that goat milk is very close related to breast milk. So if your child is unable to breastfeed or having difficulty in nursing as a mother, then goat milk is one of the next best things to human milk for a child to drink. So have you had experiences with that with mothers?
Right. I have a lot of people who have called me up asking for milk for their babies or their foster kids. We don't pasteurize our milk, but we do send it into a lab for periodic testing. So we know what the fat content is. We know what the protein content is. We know if it has bacteria in it. So we can make sure that it is a good, clean product. I feel perfectly safe drinking it. I had people come over and tell me, you could die from drinking raw milk. And I thought, lady, if people died from drinking milk, nobody would be here. People have been drinking milk for thousands of years. Yeah. It's probably safe. Yeah.
Unfortunately, society and families are just not educated on how to learn the benefits of having raw milk, and
they would rather microwave a burrito in aluminum foil and eat that and say that's
very
okay.
True. Or go to a local store and find the latest milk in the refrigerator section that's been pasteurized, homogenized, and they add D3 to it. They add a bunch of other things to make the milk healthy. They're taking everything out by pasteurizing it and then putting everything back in. That how the Father intended us to drink it was right out of the animal with everything inside of it. And with me being lactose intolerant, I can tolerate raw milk, but I can't do the pasteurized stuff in the grocery store. Right. That tells you something. You have everything you need in regular raw milk that your body's intended to digest and assimilate well and to consume. So that's an added plus.
Right. We think of it like a neighborhood. If you have a bunch of good families living in a neighborhood, criminals don't move in. But if everybody leaves the neighborhood, like pasteurization wipes out all the bacteria, who moves in first? The squatters, the vagabonds, the people that you don't want in your neighborhood are there first, the criminals. And they're there to do damage. So when you have milk that has all the good taken out of it, it's still a perfect medium for growing bad bacteria. And there has never been anybody that died from drinking raw goat milk. It's not actually a thing that happens.
No, if you could look into Weston Price's book, I know that Allie and I both have a copy of it. They talk very much about how people have survived just on eating raw or drinking or eating raw milk. Is that correct?
That's true. There is people that have like accidentally drank lye back in the 40s and burned their esophagus, and they can't eat any food. They can't swallow anything. But goat milk, I mean, any milk really is a complete food.
Right.
It's good enough to raise your babies for a year. It's actually good enough to carry you through your whole life. So if you had to, you could live on it.
Yes, you could. Yes, you could. Well, very good. So I know that you're also involved with the community in helping locals with some things that you offer on your homestead.
People are having a doe that's having a hard time in labor. They can call me up. I go over there and I can help deliver their kids for them once the kids are born. I help them with dehorning. I help them with hoof trimming, all the basics of goat care. If they need to know how to pull blood, if they need to know how to give vaccinations, all that kind of stuff. We actually have, I had a friend the other day, she's been breeding goats for 30 years and asked me to come over and help her with the tough kidding, because even the very best goat herder, after you've been up all night with goats, you get tired.
Yeah.
And you are just, it's nice to have people around that can help you out. So
And the support within each other just makes it much more smooth of a thing to deal with.
Right. It makes you feel like at least you're not alone, because there's very few veterinarians that will deal with goats. They kind of think of them as, oh, well, it's just a goat. It's like it's just a rabbit. You know, you could just get another one. But there's goats out there that are thousands of dollars. So it's not just a goat. It's an investment. It's providing food for your family, and there's no cutting corners there. So.
Very good, very good. So also too, I know that Al and I have been friends for quite some time, so I kind of have some information prior to putting things online per se. But I do know that you have some goats available on your property, correct? That you're trying to find homes to, or having people purchase.
Right. We have does. We have Nigerian dwarfs, Nubians, the Manchas. We have a lot of goats available right now. After the spring kidding, we'll probably have some more. I just have my son is now 16. I mean, we started when he was 5.
Wow. And
now he's 16. He's getting ready to move on with his life. And I don't have the help that I used to have around my property. So that's what we have. We have goats available. People can come by and meet them. We're out there in Phelan in between the 138 and the 18, and in between Palmdale and Victorville. So if you're in the area, we're almost always home. Look us up online on Facebook, and you can come by and pet the goats and feed the goats and
maybe take one home.
Right.
Yeah, we'll give her information out here shortly regarding how you can contact Allie Snowdale. She's got some social media ways of doing so, also her internet website and also her contact. So we'll do that here shortly. Let's move on to another part of your homestead, which is good old Hovaz, the Armenian Gamper dog that we were given as a gift. Allie got the male, I got the female. And tell us a little bit about good old Hovaz.
Yeah, Hovaz is my meathead. He is he's adorable. He's probably 140 pounds. He's about 16 months old. And he is the defender of the backyard.
Yes, he is.
He will climb up on the roof of the goat hut to alert me of every
And
danger.
I've seen this, mind you. I've seen him do this literally. It's not just all talk.
He's quite intimidating, but he's very good with people. Yeah. He's very good with the goats. We're still working. He's still young. We're working on him to not want to eat the chickens, although we do eat our own chickens, so I can't hold it too much against him. Because chickens are food.
Yes, they are.
But I get to decide that, not him.
Yes, yeah. They're very large dogs, and Allie and I are very tiny, thin people here, so these two dogs can take us down just by them looking at us the wrong way. Our Sidon, the female, she's 120 pounds plus. Hovaz is about 140, like Allie just stated. And we're hoping come their 2-year mark here in October of this coming up year, I believe that is, that we'll actually get them to breed and to have puppies and to offer them up here in the high desert. They were given to me as a gift from a gentleman by the name of Mr. Avedis. He is on Facebook, and he's very Armenian Gamper, knowledgeable and friendly, and just adores this breed.
And once the puppies will be able to be raised with the livestock.
Yes.
And they should be some rock-solid dogs.
Yeah, because we both are having them on our properties right now as we speak, around goats and chickens and children, and getting them very used to being around that atmosphere and that lifestyle. So when they go off, to other homes, they'll be well prepared to take care of.
Right. We have 2 other livestock guardian dogs at our house, and Abby, my very favorite dog. She's not very big, but she's smart and she's good. She's a border collie Pyrenees Akbash mix, and she came from Gina Williams at Urban Acres in Poway, who raises fantastic goats. And Abby was actually born in the barn with the goats, and you could tell. Her attitude is
a very sweet dog. Yes,
right. Her attitude is just on to taking care of them. She's really good. And the other one I got from an old lady, Banjo, and she did not know what he was, but he turned out to be also extremely good with the livestock. So I was blessed with that because, I mean, he could have wanted to eat them.
Yeah.
But
especially when you have animals like Allie does, more so than I do. When you have any kind of livestock or chickens in your yard, you want to have an animal, especially a dog, that is friendly with them. You don't want to just put a dog in there and assume that the dog's going to just all of a sudden be great with the animals because they start as a puppy. You've got to really work. It takes a lot of time, as both of us know. And being these dogs are so big and so strong of an animal, it takes us a lot more on our part to really, train them well.
Right. And you got to think, in Armenia, these dogs will cover miles and miles of area to protect their flock from bears, from wolves. So they have to be strong,
active,
fast,
yeah,
and not afraid of anything.
No, and she said it's so true. In Armenia, they're on large acres of land.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a fence.
There's no fence. There's no territory that's been blocked off. Here, they're constricted to a very small part of the land. It's fenced off, and it makes it more challenging them to really do their job. Probably very well because they're limited. In Armenia, they're just like all over the place. It's a beautiful picture to see. But we're hopeful that this little meeting time in October might prove well for all of us involved and have some beautiful puppies come. Also, Allie, too, on your homestead, you have a garden and some orchards.
Right. We have, my dad retired from machining parts maybe 12 years ago. And so when we were kids in the valley, he grew a garden every year. And it's what he loves. I bought him a greenhouse for his 65th birthday. And so he's got a jalapeno plant in there that's 3 years old.
Oh, wow.
It's so spicy. And we've got the fruit trees. We've got almond, apricot, pomegranate, all kinds of berry plants. And people tell us, well, you can't grow that in the desert. Oh, yes, you can grow it in the desert. You have to be smart. So we look all around the world and see, there is people that live in the desert, and they do grow food. And we're just trying to figure out how they do it so we can adapt it to our yard. And it is apples that are so sweet. They were developed in Israel, so they have the same climate.
Oh, wow.
And
nice.
they're starting to put on flowers even right now, the end of February. So we're going to be getting apples in the next couple of months.
Yeah, and the season with the rain that we've had, I think, is going to prove a wonderful harvest for everybody.
Right, we've
involved.
had a ton of rain this year.
Have.
I mean, thankfully we're not in Sacramento where they're knee deep in water, but in our area we have gotten like 10 inches of rain already.
Yeah. It's been a lot. I mean, for us in the desert, that is like a gold mine because we don't get rain like we got rain this past year.
Yeah, you can see every plant out there is going,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's so much life. Even across the street where we live, the whole ground is like green. I'm thinking, wow, I've never seen that in a very long time since we've been living up here. It's been always dirt and thorns and thistle, but there's greenery. And my goats now are loving it because I'll pick some of the old, I'll pick the dandelion stuff from the ground that's grown up, and they're like going, oh, wow, there's like something new to eat other than just alfalfa.
They love it. Oh, by the way, people, if you get goats, do not feed them garbage. Goats don't really like to eat garbage. That's a lie that Disney taught people, and it's not really true.
Very good.
Goats like real green food.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And I mean, take that out. That sounded. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm trying to get a comeback from what you just said. But yes, don't feed your goats garbage. Good point. Well, very good. So other than that, let's see. Anything else you want to share about your homestead, about your farm, about what you're doing, and any maybe encouragement for someone who's just starting up, maybe homesteading, that would like to kind of learn about how to get started on this little journey?
I'll tell you that the goats are by far the easiest animal to keep. My husband Todd is a good husband, but he is not crazy about the animals. And he has told me the goats are by and far the easiest animal. They're not noisy. They're not messy. They don't destroy things. They don't bark all night. They sleep at night. And All you need to do is give them fresh water and nice hay, and
their manure too is like incredible for your garden.
that's why our garden is
right?
so beautiful.
Yeah.
Right.
Because goat manure, correct me if I'm wrong, Allie, can go directly into the ground. You
Right.
can put your seed in. Where horse and chicken, I believe, is too.
Chicken's too hot.
Chicken is too hot, and I believe horses also. I think rabbit, if I'm correct, rabbit and goat are the ones you can actually directly put the seed into the ground.
Right,
and
because
it
they're
won't burn.
vegetarians too.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
chickens will eat any. Chickens do eat garbage, by the way.
and meat.
So when you have your chickens out there, yeah, you need to compost that for a long time.
Yeah.
The goat stuff is like fertilizer pellets already made.
Yeah, it's funny too. Back on the whole the dog conversation we had with Hovas and Sidon, my dog, I know Hovas probably too, enjoys eating
Oh yeah,
the goat pellets.
that's true. They're like vitamins.
Yeah.
because dogs don't process grass very well, but goats do.
Oh, okay, that's
So
a
they're
reason
getting
why.
a lot of nutrients from that. Really,
Yeah.
Abby is the exact same way. Abby thinks that she has gone to heaven when I left in the goat pen. She really goes bonkers for it.
So don't freak out if you get a livestock dog and they end up eating the goat poop, because that's actually very good for them.
Yes,
it's all a very good thing.
Perfectly fine.
Very good. Well, very good. Well, again, you can reach Allie Snowdale here at her website. It's snowdaleacres.com. Her email address is snowdale_acres with an S at yahoo.com. She's also on Facebook with Snowdale Acres. And I would love for you to encourage any locals out here that are listening to this little podcast for you to contact Allie Snowdale regarding hoof trimming and with kidding, with purchasing any of the goats that she may have available. She may even have produce come down the road here if she has an overabundance of fruit growing on her trees.
Well,
correct?
our goats are super friendly too, and people just like to come by and pet them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're highly pettable goats. So.
Oh yeah, when she has all the babies on her property, oh my goodness, she will definitely take anybody's hand to help feed them. She bottle feeds them so they get used to people. And it's just really sweet seeing all these little goats follow Allie around the
true.
property. It's a very sweet picture. So bring your children, contact her again on Facebook at Snowdale Acres. Our website again is snowdaleacres.com. Her email address is snowdale_acres with an S at yahoo.com. Anything you wanted to tell the online community here, Allie, regarding your property and your farm and your little homestead?
Right, yeah. We welcome anybody to come by and meet the goats. Come by and check out the fruit trees. Come by and see the garden. We're really, we have a nice property for sharing with other people. And really, because the goats are so much fun, kids love them. They only have bottom teeth. It's not like they're going to, they're
very
attack
sweet,
goats.
very sweet.
So we had people come over this weekend and overcame their fear of livestock.
Yes, a
It was
personal
very
friend that we both
sweet.
know. Yeah, she overcame her fear of livestock, and she did actually very, very well.
So
Very impressive. Well, very good. Well, Allie, I thank you kindly for joining me in studio this afternoon on
glad
Shalom
to be
Pod.
here.
And again, please visit Allie at snowdaleacres.com. Contact her. And you can visit us here, Mama Bell, at healingthroughout.com. We're also on Facebook and all the social medias. At the right of our website, you can click on little icons that talk about where we're located. So this is Mama Bell from Shalom Pod. Again, thank you kindly for joining us this afternoon. Have an amazing day. Shalom.
ליבי ובשרי ירננו אל חי אל חי אשרי יושבי ביתך עוד יעללוך עוד יעללוך עוד יעללוך עוד יעללוך just one day in your house is better than 1,000 anywhere soul it longs and even faints for the courts of the one Yahweh. My heart and my flesh, they cry out for the living Elohim, the living